Is the market going to crash? This has been an ongoing topic for a while. Many people have said it's coming. So today we're going to debunk that myth. It's hard to believe that they're actually still talking about the market crashing today. But with this year being election year, you're going to hear all types of things. So today we're going to cover prices of homes, current mortgage rates, and transactions. So let's look at what Americans are thinking. And then we'll look at statistics. There is still 24% of Americans who think prices will go down over the next 12 months. So that's 1 in 4. And with this mentality, it's causing buyers and sellers to sit on the fence because, of course, they're waiting on the prices to come down. In a few areas, you may see that, but as a whole, it's a myth. So today I'm going to debunk that myth that we're heading toward a housing crash. And we'll look at statistics and the prediction for the upcoming market in 2024. So stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm Chandra Patterson, a local realtor here in the Orlando area. And if this is your first time to our channel, then welcome. This is where we cover everything you need to know about living in Orlando, Florida, and all the surrounding areas. I get calls every day from people just like you looking to move to the area. So whether you're moving here in 1 week or 1 year, just reach out by text, email, phone call, or we could even set up a Zoom appointment, whatever fits your need. We would love to hear from you. All of my information is in the description below. And with that being said, today we are going to debunk the myth that the housing market will be crashing. So if you find this information helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps other people find this video too. So let's start out with home appreciation. This chart shows us through 2022. We don't have the 23 numbers yet to put in, but the 49-year average monthly price movement is shown here. Over 49 years, the appreciation in winter is low, but as the buying season revs up in the spring, you'll see appreciation increases, then it decreases again toward the end of the year. Well, this is normal. There's nothing to be worried about with that. So let's take a look at this right now and see what's happened so far against the 49-year average. We see appreciation. Now let's look at month over month from two different studies. So let's look at the 49-year average versus 2023 price movement, not seasonally. As you can see, January and November, we didn't do quite as well as the 49-year average. However, look at where we were in the spring. We were well above the average. Now let's take a look at the seasonally adjusted month over month percent change in home values. There's only 1 month where we're lower, but look at the areas where we're much higher. And I like to compare it with a couple of indexes. So let's look at Case-Shiller and FHFA together, and we can compare, and then we can see that even though the numbers aren't exactly the same, the trend is about the same. So we're looking month over month where we're finally getting a normal market. And that is definitely what we need right now. So what does this mean as far as prices this year? Well, one said November's year-over-year gain saw the largest growth in U.S. home prices in 2023, with our national composite rising 5.1%. So the annual appreciation as of today in the country is 5.1%. The FHFA are showing prices were up 6.6% from November 22 to November 2023. People were projecting the home prices were going to fall. Some even projected 25% in 2023. In reality, we're having a pretty good year. And of course, you hear on the headlines, some cities out west got crushed, such as Austin, Texas, Boise, Idaho. Which they're coming out of it. And year over year, their numbers are much weaker than the country's. But if you look at this chart, Case-Shiller's home price movement, you'll see the 1-year change in percent appreciation in the top 20 cities. This is what we know. Portland was the only one down. But look at San Diego, Miami, Chicago, Detroit. They're all well above. So the U.S. national appreciation average was 5.1%. Now Freddie Mac prices month over month, percent change in home values, is the only index that's back yet that went through December. And they're showing we had a good December. So here's the 43-year average through Freddie Mac. And what we can see here is the fact that we did very well this year compared to normal averages over the last 43 years. So as far as market prices are concerned, we did extremely well. So looking at this chart, if you look all the way over to the right, you notice Freddie Mac is saying we had 7% appreciation last year. 5 years, the housing prices were up 54%. According to 10 years ago, it was 103%. And 30 years ago, we are actually up almost 300%. So people say all the time the housing prices go up and down. And actually, the only time home prices that ever went down was right after the great financial crisis and the housing bust. But the other 39 years, home prices were up, not down, not up and down. Now, moving forward, real estate isn't the best short-term investment. But when you're looking long-term, home ownership is usually someone's greatest asset. Now let's look at future home appreciation predictions. There's a home price expectation survey where a nationwide panel of over 100 economists, real estate experts, and investment and market strategists come together with their prediction and their numbers. So the survey is put together by the numbers given. They put them together, they average them out, and this comes out quarterly. So here's the estimated home price performance. In 2023, they predicted 5.92%. And as we mentioned earlier, it'll fall somewhere between 5 and 6. Once they figure in December 2023's numbers, and this is moving further into the future. In October, interest rates were 8%, and today interest rates are a little over 7%. They're still a little volatile, but we're not sure where they're going at this point. But this does show the prediction for 2024 through 2028 to see appreciation. However, we will not see the appreciation that we recently saw that was in the double digits, but today we're seeing the biggest challenge is affordability. If we have a couple of years where appreciation is really moderate and wages are going up and mortgage rates are coming down, then that affordability index will be much more favorable to those who want to purchase a home. So the next question I get is this the right time to buy a house? The answer to this is simply buy when you're ready. Don't try to time the market though. Owning a home is a great investment. And if you're renting, you're paying off that owner's property. So why don't you put your rent money towards a mortgage payment for a home that's yours and pay off your own property? Renting is throwing away money if you can afford to buy. So let's say you do buy a home this year. Well, this is the estimated home price performance that is forecasted in the next 4 years. So let's say this year you bought a home for $400,000. Take the projections we just talked about, and you're going to make $72,000. Now, that's not great, but that's not bad if you're living in a home you want to live in. And as you're living happily ever after, you're ready to sell 5 years later, you have $72,000 to put towards your next place. Or maybe you refinance, sell it off completely. A couple of years ago, when the home prices started increasing drastically, people were comparing it to what the owners had paid for it at the prior year. So they're walking away thinking they were overpriced or asking too much. But hindsight, they wish they would have purchased the home, because had they bought it when they were looking, today they'd be sitting on a lot of equity. So if you're ready to own a home, don't keep waiting for things to get better. We are back to our normal, and there's no predictions of prices going down. So this is what home prices did the last 60 years. They go up. Yes, we had one moment in the last 60 years where we saw the depreciation, or they remained flat. But for the most part, home prices appreciate. So now let's look at the rent prices over the last 60 years. This will continue just like home prices do. It'll go up. So now let's talk about the future home price appreciation. It's like looking at a crystal ball. Nobody, absolutely nobody knows for sure, but it would depend on how much inventory comes to the market and will there be a buyer for the inventory. Where are mortgage rates going to be? Where is affordability going to be? But I do want to give you what everyone is saying as of today. So this is January 29th, 2024 here. Last time we looked at each one of these, and what we can see is that Goldman Sachs is showing a 5% appreciation for 2024. And you can follow the rest of them down. As a fairness to Realtor.com, their last projection was last forecasted was actually back in November. We have to remember that mortgage rates were at 8% in October. So while they're putting their projections together, they're looking at the 8% mortgage rates. Maybe they were even going on banking it was going to be higher. But I think when their next forecast comes out, I would think that that's going to be also in the green. Because I want you to understand that the other people that are forecasted here, this is the current forecast just a couple of months ago. We're nowhere as positive as they are today. So everyone is starting to realize that the market is getting much, much better. It's much more resilient than people originally thought. And let me show you that. The numbers that you see here in the right-hand column of this table, now just to the left of that are the same entities and what they projected just a couple of months ago. So a couple of months ago, going into 2024, this is what was going to happen to prices in 2024. To the far right is the current forecast. Look at the difference between the two in just 60 days. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and home price expectation surveys tend to fall fairly close, but look at how far off Zillow was. And the prediction is the numbers on the right will even go up more, but just slightly. So you can buy a house and be safe. You can sell your house and buy another house and be safe. Because I personally think the market is going to be stronger than what they're even predicting it to be. So that wraps up the prediction of the 2024 housing market. The best time to buy a home is when you're ready. And whether that's next week or next month, I'd love to help you with your transaction. Just call me. Another thing you may want to consider is being strategic when you do buy. If you're thinking of buying like the first quarter of 2024 before spring might be your best bet. That's when things tend to be a bit quieter, so you might have less competition. And when you're figuring the numbers, make sure you focus on what your monthly payment will be rather than just the price of the house. There's so much more to buying a home than the home prices alone. That's the number that really matters when it comes to budgeting. It's not the home price per se, it is the actual monthly payment. And if you're selling anytime soon, you're still in a pretty good spot right now. But offering a concession to help buyers with their rates could make your home stand out even more. But there's something to think about. People are sitting on the fence waiting on lower interest rates. Once they lower, not only are you jumping off the fence, but this usually means other people are jumping off the fence too. So more people are wanting to buy homes, which can in turn drive home prices up. So while it's good news for your monthly payments, when rates drop, it might mean that you'll face more competition when you're looking for a place. And you may be taking a risk paying more for the home than what you want. So yeah, there's a lot to think about. But the bottom line is this: the national market is not crashing. But more importantly, Orlando is not crashing. The market is going through some changes like it always does. And whether you're buying or selling your home, now or later, I'd love to be your realtor of choice. So give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. If you're interested in learning more about the real cost of homes in Orlando, then this video may be for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. Until next time, take care.